There's too many human Green Lanterns. They just keep fighting new ones.
I don't think there's too many human ones. There's only like 6 human ones. But like, I feel like I saw somebody make a post which is really interesting about where they want the DC universe to go after Future State. And basically the only Green Lanterns on Earth were Guy Gardner and Jessica Cruz. All the other human Green Lanterns were like off doing stuff. And obviously they would all come to Earth from time to time doing stuff, but they all had like separate roles for the Green Lantern Corps itself rather than as like Earth-based heroes. Like Hal Jordan was on like somewhat of like a redemptive quest still from being paralyzed. So I wasn't agreeing with like he's proven himself.
That was so long ago. He proved himself a long time ago. He doesn't need to redeem.
He doesn't need it anymore. Yeah, he doesn't need to reprove himself. John Stewart was like the leader of, I forget what. There's like almost like a Black Ops sect of the Green Lantern Corps. I forget what they're called, but he was like the leader of that as like their general. Guy Gardner was one of the Earth Green Lanterns. Jessica Cruz was one of the Earth Green Lanterns. Kyle Rayner became the next Ion, like he was a while ago in the comics. And the Ion's basically like if Captain America was like a super soldier to regular soldiers, Ion was a super soldier to the Green Lanterns, basically. And he was Ion before for like a 6-issue miniseries. That was really cool. I love that series. But he would be Ion again. I forget. Simon Baz. I was blanking on the last human Green Lantern. That was bad. Simon Baz, because this is something they tried to do in the beginning of the New 52. Simon Baz would basically be like the messiah of the Green Lantern and basically be writing the new journal of the Guardians or whatever it's called. He'd basically be writing that because that's already proven time and time again that it can't be trusted. But because he would serve as the messiah, he would be basically rewriting it. And that was really cool. I really like that idea. I wasn't a fan of Hal being on a redemptive quest anymore, like just have him be out in the galaxy, like doing whatever. But
I want people to see just how cool the Green Lanterns are. Because that movie really left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And I'm just like, man, Green Lanterns are cool. Especially like, even though my favorite is Jon Stewart because of the animated series. I like the version of Hal that isn't on a redemptive arc, that has proven himself and is known as like one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful.
He is the most powerful.
Yeah, and famous. Like he's basically like I know you just used the Captain America comparison in terms of super soldier, but he's like Captain America, the one that people look towards. He's this strong, powerful leader in the Green Lantern Corps. That's the version of Jon Stewart.
I don't remember if like the Guardians either took away his ring or his ring got destroyed or something, but he literally reforged his ring himself out of pure willpower. Like he was just like, no, I want a ring. Bing. Like
that actually also happened in Justice League and a Fatal 5. Jessica Cruz.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, I guess spoiler alert. But
I'm not gonna watch the movie, so.
No, it's just for other people. But she was beaten, she got her ring destroyed, and basically she said the chant and basically through willpower bring it back together. And then
cool.
I went to go save everyone else. But yeah, I'm excited for the show to see what they do. And I like how the show isn't focusing on the big three that everybody knows. And it's instead going to be Simon Baz, Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz.
I'm not a fan of that. I'd be more a fan of that if that was like in the later seasons they focused on them more. I just want, like I was talking about earlier, Hal Jordan in his prime, not an old man Hal Jordan, not a parallax Hal Jordan. I want a Hal Jordan in his prime.
I don't mind if Hal Jordan from the beginning because not enough people have seen his origin story.
I wouldn't mind if they did him from the beginning. But like with what they're talking about,
I think that's what the movies are going to be for. It's going to be for Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan, and
I keep forgetting they're also doing movies.
If they'll be connected, who knows? But I just know that the movie's definitely going to have John, most likely because they're not going to be in the show. It's most likely going to have those three characters as lead characters. So if that's the case, it might start off with Hal being, in his prime. If they're going to have both Jon Stewart and I hate when this happens. It happens every episode. I forget people's names.
You forget people's name, Kyle Rayner?
Yeah, you literally just said it and I forgot it.
No, I just expect this to happen at this point. I just try to keep a better memory of who I'm talking about because I'm like, he's gonna forget it.
I've also talked before how I want a Green Lantern video game that takes place in space.
And that would be awesome.
And you fly
I want something.
Like No
Make
Man's
it like a
Sky,
mix
but with Green
of
Lanterns.
Oh, go ahead.
I said No Man's Sky, but with Green Lanterns.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a mix of like No Man's Sky and like I know a lot of people don't like the Avengers game, but like an Avengers style game, but like
Okay, that's fine.
No Man's Sky, where like you take control of one of the human Green Lanterns and like your friends take control of, like the other ones. You go on like missions in space, but it would have to be like as big as No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Like No Man's Sky, comparative to other games, like comparative to like Modern Warfare, which takes like your entire system storage. No Man's Sky is only, I don't know how many gigabytes it is actually, but like it's really small. But like you play the game, you're like, my system should not be able to support this game. Like this game is way too huge. There's no way, like no system should be able to support this game. But like, yeah, and you've played No Man's Sky, right?
No, I've seen gameplay. It's not. It does really. It's not. It doesn't interest me. But
You should totally play. It didn't interest me either, but it like I put so many hours into that. Like I was addicted to that game for a while. Like when I said there's like 3 or 4 planets per solar system, but like there's a bunch of different solar systems in like one galaxy. I think there are multiple galaxies as well. So it's like it's it's amazing. I love it.
Apparently, the like initial download is like 11 gigabytes, but of course you're gonna have updates that are gonna increase that. But yeah, it's kind of it's pretty small for how expansive it is. But yeah, I could see a really good Green Lantern game that takes place in like a small space with like multiple planets. It doesn't need to be infinite like No Man's Sky, but it just needs a few planets that you can travel between, and you could like.
Yeah.
I want there to be like for when you have to go further. There's that the ship from the animated series where you basically get in that and you can go further than you normally would with just you and your ring flying around. And of course you would have to recharge your ring. Otherwise, you're going to be out there and you're going to die. You'll just be in the middle of space, and your ring will die, and you'll die.
But what I want certain Green Lanterns to have different powers. So I would want Ion. I would want Kyle Rayner to be Ion, either be Ion or be a White Lantern, where he wouldn't need to recharge his ring at all because his Ion he didn't have a ring. He was using the heart fire, whatever it's called. Where he was like Island Scott, he didn't need a ring at all. And that's what Ion is. Ion doesn't need a ring to use the power at all. He doesn't need to recharge. And in fact, I think it was during the Sinestro Corps War, he was recharging other lanterns for them. Like he was just flying past like bing, 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 bing. Kind of like Naruto during the Great Ninja War, or he was just like giving everybody his chakra. Like that's exactly what he was doing. He's like touch, 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 touch. And I would want Hal Jordan
level increase.
Oh, go ahead.
I said when Naruto's chakra level increased drastically out of nowhere. Like
yes, basically, yeah.
How pretty much Guy actually got way stronger out of nowhere too.
Yeah, the guy was literally like.
We're not going to go on another Naruto tangent. Let's not do that.
Okay.
But I just want to say, I don't think, at least not, especially not in the first game, Ion should not be a thing. Not this early.
Maybe not, but like my whole thinking is like if they were to add like all the human Green Lanterns and like make them all playable, I would want each of them to feel different. So like I would want Kyle to be Ion or a White Lantern. Like those are like the only really 2 options I can see where he wouldn't need to recharge at all.
Because it's the first game, I feel like it's, especially since like we were talking about, Green Lantern isn't as well known as he should be. You can't start off throwing in White Lanterns and Ion.
I mean, like I would understand that. I would understand that.
Regular Green Lantern Colorado.
Eventually, I would want to get to that point. And I would want Hal Jordan because Hal Jordan's the most powerful Green Lantern. He reforged his ring. I would want him to be able to like create his own lantern battery, like power battery, like a construct, and recharge his ring like that. So he'd just be able to keep recharging himself. The other Green Lanterns would have to go to a planet or would have to go find their power battery. That's something they would have to do. While Hal would just be able to recharge himself.
You can just go and pick up your power battery and put it wherever you want. So you can just.
I would want something like that because that's been a plot line in Green Lantern stories before where they're about to run out of battery and they're like, my power battery is like 3 planets away. I'm not gonna make it in time. So like that would be something you'd have to do is like not keep track of your power battery, but like I feel like you should always be able to. You've played Avengers, right?
You should always be able to fast travel to it. I feel like.
I don't know about fast travel because if you're like in like a big battle or something like that.
No, not you should be able to fast travel in the middle of a fight. I'm just saying when you're not fighting, you should be able to fast travel to it.
But have you played the Avengers game? Because I remember you saying you were going to get it. I don't know if you ever did. Have you played the Avengers game?
No.
Okay, so in the Avengers game, if you press up on the D-pad, you get kind of like a view of like the entire field, so you can see where your teammates are like in relation to you and stuff like that. I feel like you should be able to do that, but with your power battery for like characters that aren't able. So if you're not Hal or Kyle, you'd be able to like press up on the D-pad, see like where your power battery is, and like that'd be funny if someone like left it like 30 planets away. It's just like 30,000 kilometers away. You're like, what?
Yeah.
But,
we gotta wrap this up, cause
oh my god, I just so many ideas. You just keep scoring on ideas.
We were going for a while. I wanted it to be an hour, but we ended up going an hour 41.
Oh my god.
I don't know how we ended up doing it.
You keep giving me ideas. We'll talk about this off podcast then.